she's one of Asia Pacific's hottest exports. New Zealand Emmy award-winning choreographer, founder and principal of the Palace Dance Studio Dance School, which has produced groups such as Request, Sorority, Bubblegum and the Royal Family. The latter has won the World Hip Hop Dance Championships 3 times in a row. She has worked with artists including Sierra, Ariana Grande, Little Mix, Justin Bieber, Rihanna, Janet Jackson, Jennifer Lopez, Nicki Minaj, Big Bang, 21, CL and Blackpink. Please give a huge, rousing, floor-stomping welcome for Parris Goebel. Welcome. I think we can have another round of applause, don't you? Welcome to the stage.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the stage. Looking lovely.
Thank you. I tried my best.
Absolutely. So I wanted to start off by talking about your childhood and how you got started dancing. Like, when did you actually start dancing?
Oh, I started dancing as soon as I could walk. So I'm literally in my living room as a child. And yeah, I just believe I was...
the audience?
Parents, aunties, uncles, anyone that came over had to sit down and watch.
Performance?
Yeah, it was a must.
And what does creativity mean to you? What's your mantra around creativity?
Creativity to me is life. I believe it's a lifestyle. I truly believe we are each the creative directors of our life. And, you know, it's like creativity is such a spiritual feeling to me. So every second of every day, I'm trying to release myself into that state of euphoria where I'm, you know, expressing myself, you know, from a vulnerable place, whether it is through dance, whether it's through clothes, whether it's through, you know, furniture. I believe we can be creative in all aspects of our life.
So when did this passion start? Like, what was your, when did you first discover your passion and talent?
For dance or life?
Yeah, well, both, of course.
Well, I'm passionate about life in general, so everything I do I'm passionate about. But, you know, like I said, I started dancing as a little girl, and I knew at a really young age that that's what I was born to do. So when you feel that calling, you don't have a choice. You have to follow it, and, you know, it's like you won't stop until you get there.
Awesome. What's your creative process like when you choreograph? Is it true that you don't like to prepare in advance for projects?
It is true.
On the spot?
Who told you that?
Good sources, right?
Good sources. Yeah, I mean, that's been over time. You know, obviously when I first started working for big artists like such as J-Lo, she was the first artist I worked with. You know, you're so nervous, you do feel you have to prepare, but over time, you just form this trust with yourself, and it's a really empowering feeling when you know you can walk into the room and just be free and let yourself go and start with a blank canvas and see what happens and see what comes out of your body and your mind. That to me what made me feel alive, and that was the feeling I chased for my entire career, was this feeling of, you know, spontaneousness and spontaneity. So, you know, once I've kind of found that mojo, my dad calls it mojo, it was like addictive, and, you know, I just like wanted to work on that and grow that skill of just walking in the room, pushing play and seeing what happens.
Wow, that's amazing. You've recently been choreographing the latest Savage x Fenty show for Rihanna in New York Fashion Week and won an Emmy for your work.
I did.
Congratulations on Volume 3. Tell me about the Emmy. What did it mean to you?
I mean, first of all, I wasn't expecting it, so I was shook. But it was a really full circle moment. I mean, you work your whole life, your whole career to that moment. And when it happens, like, you know, it kind of encapsulates everything that you've worked hard towards. It kind of puts something tangible in front of you that tells you your hard work was worth it. But I think more than that I want to share is maybe, you know, that it meant more to my younger self than who I am today. Because, you know, there's no award, no accolade that can determine or validate my work or my self-worth today. But it was really nice for my younger self because that's something that she wanted, you know, to work towards. So I think it was more full circle and more rewarding for the young Parris, the little Parris.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, tell me about the show itself and the impact on the fashion industry in terms of rewriting the narrative of what beauty is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was huge. I think what we do with the Savage show changes how people view themselves all over the world. I mean, it first started with women. We started with an all-female cast of dancers and models. And I didn't quite understand the impact that it had until I was receiving really heartfelt messages from women all over the world, saying that it changed how they viewed themselves, viewed their bodies. You know, little things like women saying, I've never worn a bikini to the beach before, and that gave me the confidence to now do that. You know, all these little messages that I received made me understand how it was changing the perspective of beauty and what beauty looks like. I mean, we all know that we're all beautiful, but I think the commercial world programs us and tells us that otherwise. So I think we're breaking down all those walls and just saying, you know, we are beautiful, and you can feel beautiful and you can celebrate yourself unapologetically.
Hear, hear. Absolutely amazing. Now, it may appear that you are an overnight success, and
it's a lie.
Yes, of course, of course. Can you tell us some of the challenges you've experienced, and what have you learned from them?
I would say probably the biggest challenge I faced early on in my career was tall poppy syndrome. You know, us Kiwis and Aussies know what that means, but maybe for, you know, the rest of the world, it's similar to imposter syndrome. It's a feeling of, you know, a lack of support from your peers and your community. For me, I felt, you know, I was this girl from little old New Zealand that had a dream, and she chased it and worked hard. And when I actually started ticking those goals off, I felt, you know, my own community didn't celebrate me or uplift me and support me in ways that I felt I needed when I was really starting off. And that was really hard because you represent your country everywhere you go, and you're trying to put your country on the map and do something for your people. And you kind of turn around and they're not really cheering you on. That's really hard.
Has that changed?
That's changed now, but it doesn't affect me anymore because,
Sure.
you know, I had to, I stopped waiting for the applause and I just started cheering for myself. And once you start doing that, your whole mindset changes. You're not waiting for validation. You're not waiting for people to scream your name. You're just looking in the mirror and you're making yourself proud. So once I started thinking like that, it wasn't a challenge anymore because, you know, my mindset changed. But I constantly come across different creatives that are having the same problem, that are just starting out and they don't feel their own community is uplifting them and has their back. So I know that's something a lot of people face as they're upcoming.
Don't stop, right? Keep going. Is that right?
I mean, it's more so be your own number one fan.
Yeah.
That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. You're an award-winning choreographer, published author. You choreograph, you know, all of your own stuff. You occasionally edit your own projects, I hear. And in a recent quote, you said, the last 10 years have been a warm-up and you're just getting started. What can we look forward to seeing from you in the near future?
I mean, everything. I plan to do everything. And honestly, the most exciting thing is I don't even know what to expect from myself. I feel limitless and I feel there's nothing I can't do. So, you know, next year I'll be directing my debut film, which is exciting and it's something I've always wanted to dabble into. So I think taking dance to the big screen is my next step. But after that, it's like I want to do so many other things. So I feel trusting that process and setting myself free without expectations, but also like the end goal is to build an empire, really. So, yeah.
Just an empire?
Just a small one. No, just a small one on the side. Or a few.
Yes, of course. Well, look, I want to thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful having you here on the stage with us at Adobe Max, and I wish you all the very best in the future, and thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.